I'm not going to have a smoke for 20 seconds, right? So instead, I'm going to put a star further out into the open. What I want to do with this is when they peek out, I want to be able to either gravity well them or concuss them. My teammate's in a good position here for this to work. So whenever they make contact, that's when I'm going to hit the concuss or hit the gravity well. And the gravity well will pull them into the center here. And if they decide to commit to the fight and they fight my gecko, right? Now the Reyna has a free shot and they have a really easy crossfire here. I might have gotten someone off of it actually. So right now I'm looking minimap. The Sova's drone comes out. They're starting to fight. I see Sova.
One enemy.
If you saw that, I actually did get the ISO in there. He's just coming out of the gravity well, so he's trying to like just get out. Concuss might have been better in that situation. I would say gravity well is best for 2 reasons. One is to obviously pull diffusers off of the bomb when you're playing post plant, and 2, at least on attack, pull a known enemy out of a cubby or out of a corner that they can't escape from. A good example of this would be on B site. I think in most situations when there's an enemy that you're trying to kill, at least on attack, the concuss is probably better because then they can't like retreat into CT or they can't retreat behind cover, unlike the gravity well. I think both are good, but I think it's better on attack in most cases to save it for the post plant or combine it with a concuss potentially. This is what I did one time, I think in this VOD. I put a gravity well here and like a concuss here. That way when we take back site, anyone playing in these 2 positions is just like screwed. If you're just like 5-manning rushing a site and you're on eco, this is probably a really good way to essentially keep these enemies in these spots and prevent them from peeking with better long range weapons like a Phantom or Vandal. You're not gonna want to fight those long range fights, so you would maybe need some kind of flash utility on the right. So maybe my gecko throws a dizzy over here, this like long range angle, and then I just put my utility back site, concuss, suck, and we take site that way. Now they're forced into playing against my team with our eco weapons, which typically excel better in close range. Fighting someone with a Spectre and Stinger in this range, like in this little like stairs section, it's an easier kill for us because of our close range weapons. And then we take site, we steal their weapons. Now we have an advantage going into the post plant. The thing about Sunset, not a lot of pro players are using Astra at all on Sunset, so there isn't a lot to go off of in terms of like studying how pro players approach this map as an Astra player. But there is a lot of Omen VODs that you can look up because Omen is the better controller on this map. His utility just makes more sense and it's easier for Omen to contribute to the team. Not to say that Astra is unusable on this map, but I think it's just obvious that the better controller is always going to be Omen in this current meta. If I have any questions, I'm going to be referring to 2 VODs that I found on YouTube, and these are like the only 2 VODs that I could find. I think John QT here might be a better resource in terms of how to play Astra on this map potentially. All right, so let's get started. Round 1. I saw it, Bill. Okay, this was good. I know for a fact I was minimap refragging. So I called ISO elbow, pop the smoke back sight for the gecko. And right here, since I'm in the smoke, I'm actually looking at my mini-map here. My Reyna I see is about to peek out of the smoke because I can see the vision cones there. The ISO is fighting my Reyna. I didn't really want to bait my Reyna here. I guess it kind of is baiting, but it's like good baiting because I'm going for the trade. I could probably communicate here and just tell the Reyna that I'll peek off your contact, that kind of thing, like before we go in the smoke. Then it's an equal trade, and trading on attack is actually a little bit better than trading on defense, because on defense, you're most likely going to only have 2 players on site, maybe like 3 unless you're stacking, as opposed to having, you know, usually like a 5 stack hitting A. So if there's 5 of you hitting A and you trade, and now it's a 4v1, that's going to be good for you. Right here, I just see ISO on the minimap. It's kind of hard to see here, but I'm actually like trying to aim my player icon on the minimap at ISO. When I come out of the smoke this way and strafe to the right and peek, my crosshair is like where it needs to be, and I don't have to adjust my crosshair as much. So that's kind of how you minimap refrag there. You just want to make sure that your crosshair is always head level so that when you aim left or right, you're not deviating up or down when you move the crosshair to the right. You want to make sure you like avoid this. And this just comes with experience and like practicing crosshair placement. Before we move on, here's something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. You can also use the gravity well on attack to prevent defenders from peeking an angle like this example on Ascent. Back to the video. CT.
Gotcha.
Hitting again. I'm blind.
I saw my Cypher was fighting and I knew they couldn't see him because they were just spamming the smoke. So I kind of took this opportunity to just walk up. I heard him reloading, so I know that like he can't kill me if he's outside of my smoke now. So I'm kind of free to play close to my smoke and just watch where they come out from, since my Cypher is also helping me here. And then I literally see their hand pop out of the smoke and I'm like, okay, they're coming out this way. The good thing about near sights, they're not really good in close range at all, because if you use it to push out of a smoke, there's a chance that the enemy on the other side is playing close to that smoke and they're not going to be blinded at all when you come through the smoke. And his gun's not even out yet. He's not even ready. He flashed and just peeked out like right, as soon as the flash went out. And he actually blinded his Reyna too, but it didn't matter because she was close range. I think that was a pretty good play.
Obscuring vision. One enemy remaining.
And I hear Sova and whiff. So I knew my Cypher was close though, so he could just trade me. And it was probably worth going for the kill there. So interesting thing about the ult on B here is I did it 2 different ways, because my teammate said next time you use the ult, can you like ult the front of sight? He wanted my ult to go across sight like this and just cut off all of back sight so that we can just plant the bomb front sight here. But what I did on this round was I just ulted from here directly across like that. We still have to deal with like most of sight, but at least I'm blocking off these 2 major areas where they're gonna have to push through. Falling. My teammates are also making full noise as we're taking sight, so that's not helping. Okay, so I also put the stars back sight, so watch this. I'm looking at my mini-map. I'm gonna wait for like the jet to dash out or something, and then I'll concuss and suck. I saw the Omen blind come from backside as well. I see them on the mini-map and concuss both. But my team was just a little bit too late to respond.
Last player standing.
And they flanked. I'm starting to develop better pre-round plans at the very least, but I need to see the plan through and be like, I'm going to wall, I'm going to concuss back sight here and here, ping where, and then tell my jet to like, yo, jet, can you dash in off of Dizzy? And then we'll take sight. And then from there, we play post plan. And that's when like the mid rounding can happen more. And then we can just focus on like the round.
Astra, next time for your wall, could you do it like this way? So we only have to worry about market instead of worrying about the backside.
This is what I was talking about before. So he said, can you wall front sight like this? And so we only have to worry about market and we don't have to worry about back sight. Obviously, like when you do it on Ascent as Astra on A site, when you take A, there's a play that you can make where you just wall off the entire back sight. In fact, you wall off almost all of sight. You just plant in a little tiny corner in the front right of sight. This is something I want to see how the pros do it. We're going to watch this clip.
Oxy running out of time, goes into the smoke, decides to pull it. The Shorty. CNET able to find 2, however, one with the paint shells, one with the Vandal. Lobs it in, forces Zeppo away. Now they push forward across through market. This wall denying all of this audio. Door going to be shut. Start rotating through. Mr. Fallen not able to spot anything here, as they will just cut across into A and get this plant for free.
Wait this out.
And now I'm telling my teammate, I'll try your B wall. I'll give it a shot. Let's do it.
Well divided. Blocking vision.
They Sova darted, so I'm not peeking out yet. I'm also flashed by Omen, but they didn't even like capitalize on the flash.
Oh, never mind.
That was a little mechanical error. I went into my Astra form when the Sage peeked out at the same time, so it was a little bit awkward. And then ISO flanks again. Yeah, he does. Okay. So he won and that was great, but like that was such like a chaotic round. Like right here, I had a free kill on the Sage, but I was so committed into going to my astral form, which is a terrible idea. Like I should not be going into my astral form like when we don't have information on the enemies. There's like so many smokes and cages that like they could just be playing in any one of them. It's chaos right now, so it's hard to be aware of all this shit. Like right here, the Jet's like ready to help me, so I feel like I need to call the Jet over to play with me and say, Jet, let's swing the ISO. I'm sure the Jet would be happy to. They're just like running at everything all game by themselves, so like I'm sure they would have agreed and been like, okay. So I need to stop assuming my teammates are going to do something. I need to like mid-round more, and if they don't listen to me and I peek and die, it's like, okay, like whatever, at least I like tried. But the wall was good. The wall ended up working. It was just a little sloppy. I want to see how they take mid control in these games. Yeah, there we go. Ah, okay, those are the smokes I do in mid most of the time. I think that smoke has like, or that star has multiple purposes in mid that he just used there to like recall. So he just recalls that star. The idea behind it is to allow this Reyna here to scale up to play behind that little structure in mid, that little triple box, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it allows them to scale up towards door because they have to kind of like walk forward towards it. And then when it goes down, they have a more fair fight and they're closer to cover to fight. But I think it could be a suck to prevent them from like peeking out. I like that he uses that star because that's something that like I thought was a good star to use as well. So it kind of just confirms that, you know, I played that right. All right, let's go back to the VOD.
About there. Obscuring concussing.
Yeah, see, I was a little bit late. I was a little bit late on the concuss. Like, I should have already put both stars down right now. I'm too late. Right now, the star is going to have to be placed. It's going to have to, like, activate, and then I can concuss, and by then, they're already pushed out, and they killed my Reyna. And I smoked first, right? Like, if I concussed here first, they might have both been concussed. You can see the Sova. He's still in the choke, so he got concussed, most likely, but the Reyna was already out, so I missed the timing on that one. I just got to be a little bit faster with that.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see how they're all focused on the jet there? I used this chance to get some free kills because they were all looking away from me. So I was like, okay, they're all looking at the jet after they got flash and the jet shotgun. So they're all trying to like refrag their teammate. And that was a perfect opportunity for me to peek. So I just went into a full ghost spray there because like I knew as soon as I got the first kill, they were going to look at me. So I just tried to like spam as fast as I could. So I think I stuck with this smoke for most rounds. My jet actually pushed up mid a lot on defense, so that mid smoke was definitely necessary. They also push up tiles a lot. I either had to smoke tiles or top of mid or both sometimes. I think a lot of this game was just like my teammates like dying early.
Need that back.
That recall star might be better in most cases there.
Concealment.
At least to bait them out into the open, and then I can maybe get a kill. If I'm going to be doing that, it's probably just best to call my teammate over to play with me if we're going to try to fight A. But they keep going mid. My teammates are just like getting kills mid, so.
One tile.
The last two are mid.
Tile and bottom mid.
I mean, we're kind of just taking silly fights for no reason. We already like won the battle. We had 2 picks. It was a 5v3, and now it's a 2v2. And now they went A, and me and my Cypher have to retake.
It's you and me.
Unfortunately, he sucks me in.
Last player standing.
I got the kill, but obviously I'm gonna die here because my Cypher died. Of course. If my Cypher gets the kill there, we win the round.
Woo! Let's start.
See, at least my jet like called for it. He was like, Astra, can you stun? And they pinged where they wanted me to stun, and then we'll see what happens. Stun there, yeah.
Got it concussing him.
B.
They dash into elbow. You see on the mini map. The jet kind of smoking themselves to fight mid again. Smoking tiles. I smoke tiles for the jet again, so they can just keep playing mid. Jet goes into my smoke. Gets a kill on the ISO. So a bunch of the fights are happening B. I guess at this point I could have rotated faster, but my jet's going psycho mode and just trying to like play for kills really. Like all these rounds are just coming down to me retaking and playing like 2v2 or 3v3 or 3v4, like whatever it is. So it's like a lot of these rounds were just retake, and I kind of just like had to deal with the fact that my teammates were playing like super aggressive and trying to like hunt fights, you know.
Blocking vision. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Nice.
Luckily, I'm able to get the kill on the Reyna there and refrag my Cypher. So if we just minimized the dumb shit that like the jet did and the Cypher did, then we probably would have won this game pretty easily. But we're just like letting rounds go by because my jet mostly is just like fighting, or my Cypher is peeking when he shouldn't be peeking, like that kind of stuff. So maybe at this point, I kind of decide like, Jet, you play A, I'm gonna go play mid with Reyna in market or with Gecko up top. And if you guys want to fight for control mid, I'll fight with you. But like, let's, you know, make a plan maybe. So maybe I just have to do a little bit more like coordinating. A lot of this was just like retake simulator.
Mid. Coming B.
And look at my jet. My jet is just like pushing their spawn every round. I either need to just play with my jet and just like go crazy with them, or try to calm to the jet, like let's, you know, play a little more passive. See, like now the Reyna's already a mid.
Will not kill my allies.
Not in, not in.
And the jet just dies to someone in spawn. Like, I don't know what the Jet's doing, to be honest. But yeah, that was the game. It was a tough one. Most of defense for me was mostly just me playing on A side here and playing Retake Simulator, the video game, where they'd be like all mid. So I was like, okay, I have to fight mid, or now I have to go and try to retake B with like a 2v3 or 2v4. So I really didn't have a lot of say in defense, but I think what I could have done better there was potentially when my teammates were getting aggressive mid, just keep supporting them, because there was a few times I did support them with smokes or whatever they needed in mid, especially the Jet. But there was a lot of dumb mistakes that my teammates made. Like my Cypher was peeking on B into garage when they had full utility up. They had their camera, they had their trip. So why are they peeking when they have that information available to them? There was like little errors like that just happen in like lower elos, like platinum, diamond, whatever. So it's hard to coordinate that sometimes, especially when your Jet is just pushing their spawn every round, no matter what the eco is or what the situation. I need to kind of like adjust to what my team is doing if they're not playing correctly. I think if I'm just there to like trade them out, it might just be better than playing passively on site and doing nothing while they're just like fighting everyone. So maybe when I'm on a team like that again, I'll try to just be more active with them and just like at the very least like get the trade off my Jet, or try to support them with utility as best I can, or just ask them nicely not to push out every round, but that usually doesn't go well. So tough game on defense, not terrible on attack, and we learned some new walls from pros and learned some interesting smoke spots that they use to help their team kind of play around. So not bad. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future. Subscribe for more guides like this one, and check out this one next for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.